Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Ravvy of Ravvy Plays Games, and today we're taking a first look at Goldenheart by Millenniapede. Goldenheart is an exploration, puzzle, action-adventure game available on Steam. I went into this game with some expectations, mostly centered around the graphic style and story introduction from the trailer. After playing for a little bit, my impressions didn't match my expectations, sometimes for the better and sometimes not. But let's walk through some early gameplay and I'll touch on my impressions as we go. The tutorial does a pretty good job of walking players through the movement, combat, and UI mechanics. Movement is based on WASD, and I was pleased to learn that changing between running and walking is a toggle, and running didn't require a long key press. The spacebar is for jumping, which is pretty standard. The spacebar is also for dodging in the direction that you are moving, but only when you have an enemy targeted. I checked the settings options to see if I could assign the dodge to a different key, but those two are grouped together in the key binding menu. I suppose with enough time in the game I might get used to it, but it felt a little awkward throughout my play session. Combat mechanics are basic. Aiming the arrows feels straightforward, and sword and shield involves blocking and swinging. I'm not sure whether those mechanics will get more complicated later in the game, but during my gameplay that was all I needed to do. After the tutorial, I started the game and was introduced to the NPCs that make up the rest of the group. The camp is in an area that is surrounded by paths blocked by slabs with ancient markings and populated with mutated animals. After getting some backstory from listening to the group's conversation, I explored the camp. I had a nice time chatting with each NPC and examining all the items I could find to interact with. Then, equipped with some rudimentary weapons, I was tasked with finding one of the group members that did not return from an outing. From there, it's time to explore and figure out how to make your way to the missing group member. There is no quest log, no UI hints, or any other guidance on how to proceed. To me, this is where the gameplay is going to either appeal to players or not. To progress, you will need to solve puzzles that require exploring each area while searching for clues and progression mechanics. Working on this puzzle was difficult for me. The field of view on the character is set in a way that triggers my motion sickness. While it wasn't too much for me in the tutorial, once I entered the first puzzle area and was trying to examine all my surroundings, the movement started to get to me. A field of view adjustment option would have been nice to have for players that suffer motion sickness, such as myself. Additionally, the initial puzzle includes several platforms, which are tricky for me to jump between. I have mild mobility issues in my hands, and precision jumping and I tend not to get along very well. By the time I made it past the first puzzle, my hands needed a break. The set field of view and the platform puzzles are aspects of the game that affected my ability to play and enjoy the game, so I'm mentioning them for awareness in other players that have similar accessibility concerns. For many players, these topics are likely a non-issue. I was only able to get past the very first puzzle area. It took me quite a while to get my bearings and discover the secrets to progressing the puzzle. I also spent a good deal of time starting over at the beginning of the area due to my struggles with platform jumping. I did try to figure out the puzzle of the second area, but I was not able to solve it, and I decided to stop before getting too frustrated. As for my overall first impressions of Goldenheart, I'd say the graphics definitely took me back to a different era of gaming, which offered a bit of nostalgia for me, but they might not be for everyone. Having experienced more combat during my play session, I'd say overall it's a little more clunky than my first impression of it, but it's simple enough in its mechanics to master easily. It's one area of the game where I felt confident whenever I encountered it. After spending some time in Goldenheart, I'm left with the feeling that this is not necessarily a game for a broad audience. I do think this game has an audience, especially with players that really enjoy retro graphics and games where the onus is on the player to figure out what needs to be done in order to progress. As the game is now, am I planning to keep playing? Probably not. I wanted to like the game based on my initial impressions from the Steam store page, but it just didn't click with me and I had accessibility issues during gameplay. Let me know in the comments what you think. Have you played Goldenheart? What are your thoughts? And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more honest first looks and gaming content. Thank you for watching. Bye for now, from Ravvy at Ravvy Plays Games. See you soon!